Hey, I'm Lyndon Ashby from Teen Wolf, Mortal Kombat, and you are listening to the Dave and Creech Show.
This is the Dave and Creech Show, the only podcast where podcaster CJ Creech and actor Dave Sheridan come together to talk all things entertainment with your favorite entertainers. Want to ask our guests a question? Tweet them to @DaveSheridan or @CJCNOV88, and they may be asked to our guests live on the show. We do have to ask you stay seated during the podcast because this ride may get a little bit hilarious. Now here's your hosts, Dave and Creech.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Dave and Creech Show. This is episode 61, and we are on our stretch of weekly podcasts. We are now 3 into 2018, and once again, we are also 3 with Dave Sheridan. So we are keep racking up those wins there. And as I mentioned, Dave Sheridan is here. I am here, and we've got a nice little special treat this week for you. It's an interview.
What's the treat?
Yes, it's an interview that our correspondent Lexi, aka my 6-year-old, an interview she did with Victor Crowley himself, Kane Hodder.
It's good that we have her do the interviews because she always asks the tough questions because I don't want to get punched in the face by Kane. Kane's the kind of guy, he don't take crap, so I'm kind of scared to talk to that guy, and that's why we basically, had Lexi go do it because we were both too nervous to talk to him.
Yeah.
Where did you run into Kane at? By the way?
Now, we ran into Kane down in Atlanta at Days of the Dead Atlanta. It happened earlier in February. And phenomenal convention. Great. They had a ton of great guests and had a blast. There were some weird vendors there. But other than... Oh, well, just like this, there was this one vendor who was like basically like your run-of-the-mill, I guess you could say like fair carny, who was like wanting you to throw money into something and then basically try to win a big prize. You had to keep putting in money and rolling dice, and nobody ever won all weekend. Like all weekend long, nobody won. So what a
scam! I love it.
Yeah,
I might do that with mine.
And then there was another one, which actually, funnily enough, I got called on today about it. Those stupid little things where you fill out your information and then to win a trip somewhere, and then they call you back saying congratulations, you've won. And I had one of those today, the one that from Days of the Dead to call back, and it was kind of scammy too. So I was like, I didn't buy into it because they didn't know. See, like, and it's kind of funny because like I already had knowledge on them going in. Like I had a friend who came with me to help with filming, who just for shits and giggles, basically they filled out one too and put it in there, and they contacted them yesterday, and my friend turned it down. And so today when they said they called me and they said, okay, well we there was only 40 people that submitted for this giveaway, and we want to get all 40 to say yes because we've already got 39 people to say yes, and you would be the last one we need. And at that point, I already know they're lying because I have a friend who already denied them yesterday, saying that they turned it down, and they're saying that they didn't turn it down. But then like later on, as they're still trying to sell me on it, they're like, well, look, we'll give you this extra bonus trip just to get you to say yes today. And the guy was like, you don't have to go onto it. I work for this company and they're really cheap and they don't pay us any bonuses. So they'll let us pick a bonus trip each year for us to take. And what I do is I take the trip and I sell it on Craigslist for like $1,200. It's like an all-inclusive to Cozumel or wherever. And he's like, I just sell it on Craigslist for $1,200 and just use that cash for something else. And I'm like, well, first off, I guess that's technically fraud. And you're talking about, basically you're talking bad on your company on a recorded line. So obviously something's going on here.
Oh my gosh! Like, so did you give him any money? What's
Oh no, I gave them no money. I turned them down because it just reeked of a scam. They're like, well, normally you have to pay the taxes and fees of $1,000 for any winnings over 3,000 or something by law, but we'll cover 92% of it, and then you only got to pay the $7,250 per person. And even that
nice.
and even that they downgraded because when I applied for it or when I filled out the thing, it said a trip for 4, and then when they called, they're like, you won a trip for 2, and I'm like, well, what the hell? And then they told me I couldn't bring my daughter. They said it was for adults only. I'm like, okay, so you want me to take this trip down to the Disney World, take some nice selfies of myself, and send them to my daughter and be like, hey, wish you were here, LOL.
Yeah. Hey, Lexi, pay the taxes too, by the way.
Exactly.
So we got Kane coming up, and that's going to wrap up basically our little promotional thing for the month of trying to chat up and help out and get the word out about Victor Crowley. Again, everybody, it's available on DVD and Best Buy, Amazon, Walmart, and for rental on iTunes. And check your local VOD because I'm sure it's still up there. It only gets promoted. It stays up, but it only gets promoted for like the first week. But it still is in the menu of, for rent if you wanted to rent it. So.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I would highly suggest checking out because I mean, even if you're not really a fan of horror, even if you're scared of these movies, while there is horror elements to it, I would say that it blends well enough with the comedy that you very quickly kind of, I personally, the horror doesn't bother me at all. I mean, because I'm a big horror fan, but I think non-horror fans would totally love it.
Yeah. Well, there's that one review that said if there's only one reason to watch it, it's for Dave Sheridan. Did I send you that review?
Yes, you did. Yeah. You've got glowing remarks, and you've got some scene-stealing scenes. Not to knock any of the other actors that we've had on the show because they've all done a fantastic job as well. But apparently this is your next breakout role right here. Your second.
Yep.
First there was Doofy, and now there's Dylan. It's something about those D rolls, apparently.
That's true. And my name's David. So maybe I can only take roles with D's in it from now on. Only 18 years apart, getting some scene-stealing roles. So I'm going to play that recording from the previous interview. You ran into him at what? What was the...
Days of the Dead Atlanta.
Oh, okay, great.
Okay. Hey, guys. I'm here with Kane Hodder that plays Jason in Friday the 13th and Victor Crowley. So what's your favorite part of playing in the movie?
Well, I love playing both those characters, but my favorite part is that I always work with people I know. Some of my friends are some of the other actors in the movie, so it's always fun to work with your friends.
I've watched those movies, and they were my favorite.
Were they?
Yeah.
You watched those movies?
Yeah.
I'm not very friendly in those movies, am I?
No.
Well, thank you for watching anyway.
Yeah, but they're my favorite parts because, I think there's, so much detail in them.
Wow. Good job. Yes, there is a lot of detail in those movies, and I'm glad you noticed that.
What was your favorite memory in the movie?
Well, sometimes I like some of the creative ways that I kill people. It's pretty violent, but the writers come up with pretty interesting ways, and I like doing the stunts also.
Yeah, the stunts look very cool.
Thank you.
What's your favorite food?
My favorite food? Well, my wife is a very good cook, so anything she likes to make at home is my favorite.
My favorite food is pasta.
Wow, what about pizza? Do you like that?
Yes, pizza, delicious. My favorite kind is pepperoni.
Mine too.
Because I ate pizza last night.
You did?
Yes.
I had shrimp last night.
Yeah. I don't like shrimp.
No?
I used to eat it, but now I don't like it.
Well, if you used to eat it, you used to like it. Come on. Try it again. One more time, try it.
I still don't like it. Okay, so which movie is your favorite of the Jason movies?
I would have to say Part 7 is my favorite.
I would say, I say that one.
Yep, that's Part 7. That's the same thing I like.
I also like the one in space.
That was pretty good. Jason in space, pretty strange, but it was a good movie.
I don't know even how you got in space.
Well, let's not worry about that right now. I don't know either, really, but I got there.
Maybe you got Earth by a strange planet called like Planet of Aliens, and then they sent you to space.
Okay, that's possible.
And sometimes maybe you never know if you like sleep, and then aliens could get to you.
That's true.
I'm having a hard time being shy, but I'm trying not to get weird.
I don't think you're shy at all. Thank you very much for having me on your program. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was awesome, dude. That was really cute. Your daughter talking to Kane. And, another episode in the can, man. I don't know what number that was, but
I think it was 61 overall, but three for 2018. You're on a roll.
And you and I are going to try to get Marshall on real soon to talk about his re-edit of Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut, right?
Yes, that he has renamed Eyes Wide Cut.
That. Got it. Eyes Wide Cut. That's cute. Well, I got to run. Great talking with you. Hit me up with the link so I can repost it on Twitter. I'll look for you to post it, and I'll repost it.
Yeah, I'll text you when it's up.
Sounds perfect, man. Thanks.
All right.
See you later. Bye.
All right, man. Bye.
Shut up and sit down.
Thank you for listening to the Dave and Creech Show. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of Dave and CJ. These views and opinions do not necessarily represent those of Creech Creative Productions or any of its affiliates.